congratulations on Derek on making the Tour Championship.
Thank you.
So you've been here before?
Last year.
And?
First time. I did okay. Won my first match and then lost to Matt in the second match.
Okay.
But
yeah, close match?
5-5.
5-5, okay.
Yeah,
Total?
totals.
Ah.
Plowed too many times.
So you got to the Tour Championship by, obviously playing well in the Tour events,
Yep.
but big win in Manitoba.
Yep.
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row.
So what?
Good feeling.
Yeah. What is it about?
I don't know. I've been making some adjustments. So used to be very stubborn. Never change my line, never change a ball because it's bowler. But I got into the habit of making a change instead of being stubborn. And
Yeah.
so I go there and make changes as the day goes on. And if the ball's not moving, I use my soft rolls. If it's oily, then I use my pro rubbers and kind of just make in-game adjustments as quick as possible. And it's been working, so.
Yeah. It's not an easy house.
No.
It's one of the lowest scoring. I mean, based on what it takes to qualify.
For sure.
So it's a bit of a grinder's house.
It is.
Does that seem to suit your game, or is it?
I think it has lately.
Yeah.
I'm bowling out of Bowling Depot
Okay.
for the past 3 years, and Bowling Depot is a really tough house. So I've been having to grind out. Like averaging 237 is the lowest I've ever been, but it's because it's tough. Like throwing strikes are anomaly there. So
Yeah.
it's made me work on my spare game and cleaning wood and stuff. So
Yeah.
I think that's helped me to prepare for something like Manitoba.
Yeah. Well, so I went through and looked at the results, and I mean, you qualified, okay, and then you got into one of the brackets as a wild card.
As a wild card, yeah.
So
Lost to, I forget who it was, but he just went lights out, but I was thankful enough to be high enough that I got a wild card spot, and then match play kept running.
Yeah.
So it was good.
So again, we talk about these formats. I mean, we've got 5 events. We've got basically 4 different formats. You like the idea that all of the events are different format?
Absolutely. It makes you have to work on other things. Like, it's not just beat this guy for 3 games or something. Like the Manitoba Open is now you have to win your bracket to move out. And same with Red Deer. Like, you have to win your bracket, top 4. And so you're not only just watching yourself, you're watching others, and having each match play is worth 50 bonus points. So it's important to have all these other things. So
we talk about these hybrids. So you're getting it's scratch, but there's also the bonus for the match.
Yeah,
so it's it's a combination of the two, and
absolutely. And if you don't win your match, you got to still try and beat your score. Needs to be got. Otherwise, you're losing 100, 150, 200 pins. So it's just
where at 240 you win your match, you're 290.
That's right.
Or
still,
you could be
grinding out games.
Yeah, 220 is 250. So it makes it worthwhile. That extra 50 bonus can and you look at the results, and the people that are winning the majority of the matches are the ones that are generally advancing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any bold, Matthew Harms, 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So a 4-game match.
4-game match. 4-game match.
That's interesting too, right?
And he's won the first match every time, and then I've clawed my way back in the second one, take the lead in the third, and then just put it out of Harms in the fourth. But it's been the same back to back, and it's crazy.
Yeah. So do you think going into it? Well, what are the chances of beating the same guy twice? Do you think it's...
Never thought I'd get there twice.
Yeah.
Like, winning it once is good, but never to think you're going back to the finals. And to do it twice was, I can't, something you can only dream of, really. So
well, the caliber of the bowlers in these events,
absolutely.
And I mean, what it takes to get to a final, even what do you have to bowl to make a cut, and then you're playing match play against these highly competitive.
And your stamina have to keep up. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. So it's all these young kids that come up. Like, I played Brooke Goulet in the semis, and she's a young 20-year-old, and I'm sitting at 43 being like, I'm dying here. Like, this, it's hard to keep going and going and going and going. So
what does keeps you going?
Energy bars.
Yeah.
I just and then just trying to stay hydrated and
You've had a lot of success in the last few years again.
Yeah.
You know, and what's elevated, and again, is it this, your willingness to adjust, your willingness to make changes? Is it?
I think it started when I went back to Bowling Depot and went away from the cash league, because then I just started bowling with friends who don't bowl. So I got back the enjoyment in bowling, where I think I was getting so agitated. I missed the middle or something, and I would I want to hit something, and it's like, that's not what bowling is. And so I think getting back to the basics was something that was needed, and so I've been staying with the fun league and just kind of staying that way for the past 3 years. And I can say maybe that's what's helped, is getting back the enjoyment and not being so frustrated. And the game is 95% mental, so if you're frustrated, your mind's not where it should be. So it's been good.
So you played Masters.
I did.
Got to qualify as the Alberta singles, which is not an easy feat.
No, absolutely not.
So it came down to the end to just even get the single spot.
The very last set. Was, throwing huge at Chinook and passing Tyler at the last little bit. But going into the last 2 games, I think it was, Tyler was still ahead, and I threw a 4-10 or something, and kind of bolstered up my score a lot, and then 3-10 to finish. So it helped the last couple games. But I was just happy. I knew I was on a team, so I was quite happy. I made Masters, and just to make it is
and then you go to Nationals. You're bowling in 3 different centers and bowling the best.
And bowling back to St. James. I thought I have an advantage there, but it became tough again, and everybody's good, so everybody made the adjustments, and it was good. It was a good experience, and it can definitely take away that I need to, going into that, I need to prep a little bit better.
Is there, you feel like there's a certain amount of luck in match play? I mean, you could throw 350 and the other guy throws 170, and you don't know, or it's a point where you just have to throw the right game at the right time, or
hit and miss. Everybody's so good, so you can't, even if that player throws a $170, you can't take anything off, because you take anything off, you're not going into the next game mindset right. Like, I lost to Greg DeGrazia 368 to 343. And it was like, man, that's disappointing, because that's a point that you would get. I bowled any other guy and it would have been good, but I bowled that one. But I couldn't let that deter and finish the next game with 300 as well. But I think I only beat him with the 280. It's like, you can't, with Masters, you can't give an inch.
So you feel good about how you're playing. It's unfortunate that you went up against someone that threw as strong as they did.
And that it's going to happen. You're playing the top of the provinces, so it's going to happen. So.
But positive experience?
Absolutely. I hope to get back there again. So, but we'll see.
And team events, you enjoy the team events?
Absolutely. And it's nice, like guys I would never get to play with. So like if I would have made the men's team this year, I would have played with 4 Edmonton guys that I would never see, right? So it's nice to...
That is the nice thing about the Masters. It's an all-star team, and it's people that you generally bowl against all the time. Now you get a chance to bowl with them.
That's right. In previous years, I've bowled with Kerry out of Central, and Edmonton, and Gino Central, so it's good, right? So it's not just straight Edmonton, Calgary, like the Open is, right? So it's a little different, but I like it.
So going into next year, you going to be able to play most of the events?
I played 4 out of the 5. No, I played all 5 this year. I went to Regina. I hadn't been to Regina in a while. I had a lot of injuries lately, so it kind of stopped me from going to some of the stops. But I went to all 5 this year.
What kind of injuries? What do you?
One was I work for a door company, so I ended up getting hand smashed in, and wrist was kind of and just groin pulls. I blew my hip flexor, just odd end things. So it's and it could be one was at work, one was playing ball, one was doing this. So it's injury plagued and kind of sucks.
Have you been athletic your whole life?
All my life. As long as I can remember, playing baseball, bowling, volleyball.
You take up bowling as a young? Were you young?
I was 3 years old when Dad put me in, and never looked back.
Yeah, your dad was a competitive bowler.
Yeah. He's got one thing over me, and that's the perfect game.
Oh, okay.
So I've surpassed all his accomplishments and stuff. So
just got that one.
One left, and it's the hardest one.
And it should happen, right?
I would think so after 40 years of bowling, but this game is hard. So
I know. My dad golfed for 45 years and never had a hole in one, but so you just don't know. And it could happen, right? Absolutely.
Keep seeing them. So
so Pro League.
With the Roses.
Yeah, you enjoying that?
Yeah, it's different. It's tough bowling virtually against somebody because you're not there against them. So it's a little different watching it on video and staying within your cells, but it's a learning process. And I enjoyed my first year doing it, and can't wait for next season. So.
And I've asked a few of the other players too. Do you watch your tapes? Do you watch the shows to when you've played well to see what you're doing, or when you've not really?
No, I watch others. I don't watch our games. I kind of watch everybody else's games. So if we're like the first and second, I'll watch the one in between, or if we're not playing that week, I'll watch all the other ones to kind of see the opponents and who's on hot streaks, who's not, and stuff like that. So I kind of know what I'm going up against.
Well, we talk about there's a lot of good bowlers in this country, right? And I mean, you get players from a small town that you've never heard of or never know, and you watch them play, and you can tell instantly once they've thrown a few balls that, okay, this person knows.
Yeah. I think this year, like in our group that we had, there wasn't a person I didn't know, per se. So it was, I think, just the one from Newfoundland was the only one I didn't know. They threw, it wasn't Chafe, which I thought who I was going to face, but it's good though. Yeah, it's nice to play against new people.
And I think this is what's happened. We've now been exposed to all of these players and seen them for 3 or 4 years. I know the first year I'm going, well, I've never heard of that person. And you're like, wow.
Yeah.
And I mean, Ontario's obviously got a strong, base of players to use and that type of stuff. So you see it. And then they've got all these veteran players that have been playing for a long time. And I mean, it makes us feel good. Like we should be able to play for a long time.
There's lots of people. Everybody keeps saying there's tons of talent out there. They just don't come to the Western Canadian Tour, which is fine. They have their own tour and everything, which is good for them. And the East goes out there.
And if you're not making Masters team and you're not making Open teams to Nationals, then you'll never have that opportunity. Right. So you got first match, so you get a first game bye.
First game bye,
So you like that idea?
It's nice to win money without throwing a ball, but it's tiresome sitting around waiting and trying to throw some balls in between, stay loose.
Yeah.
It's difficult, but
And you got Len.
I got Len.
Okay, right off the bat, he just came off a strong finish in the end of the game to win his match.
He's either going to throw a 350 or 250. You just don't know which Len you're going to get, so you have to go out there and prep to throw a 300 and quick. Like he's quick, so I have to pace myself, and that's something I need to learn and understand is go at my time and not his time. So. Did
you practice this format?
No. I didn't last year either. Just more of flicking the switch and getting into game mode rather than just thinking it's a whole hum game, right? Yeah. So that's the hardest part is getting into serious mode and getting prepped and ready to go for it. So.
And it can be one game. I mean, that's
one game and go home.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, right. I mean, I'm not going to have a bunch of time to make adjustments. I need to try it. Let's get
the middle quick.
Get going and get going.
That's the goal. So.
Right on. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck in your match.
Appreciate it.
And hopefully we can see you again next year.
I hope so too.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Congratulations, Len.
Thank you.
One match down.
Yeah.
Well.
I'm in uncharted territory now. I don't know what to do.
You haven't won the first match before?
No.
Is that right?
No, I've like I said, I've had nothing but 340s and 360s thrown at me. So it felt good. I was a little shaky at the beginning, and then I felt like I was throwing really good. And then I knew, when Tyler threw the double, I said, "Oh, I'm in trouble now. He looks comfortable out there, and I know that he can just run strings." So kind of, it's hard not to, but in my head it was kind of like, oh, here we go again. You know.
Hey, that's exactly it, right?
Yeah, but it worked out all right.
Well, I noticed, and right at the end of the match, and I mean, it's that first ball you threw in 10, you probably took more time than I see you normally.
Yeah, no, I just, getting a little older, maybe a little smarter. I was worried that with the pacing I do, I thought, you could very easily step in something, let's take a practice slide, let's do whatever, and just kind of gather your thoughts and then go. But yeah, I like going quick because I do get nervous, and I don't want to stand up there because I'll just start shaking and tightening up. So I like going quick, but at the same time, I just, I'm at the age now where if I'm expecting to slide, I gotta slide, because if I don't, I might get hurt. So,
right.
So you just tell yourself, just make sure your slider's good, and then just don't think about it and go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the execution on the shot was perfect, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it must have felt really good coming off your hand.
And when you get the timing, like it actually feels really good, and you still haven't let it go. Like you're just about to, but you just know everything's hitting at the right point, and you're like, this is gonna be a good ball, and so. Feels good when that happens, but it just doesn't always happen.
Yeah, and we know this game. I mean, there's lots of good balls we've thrown. We're pretty confident they're great balls, and we don't get the results we want. Yeah. So till you get that pin splash,
you don't know exactly.
Yeah. But it's sure nice to look up and see them going down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, it's just and it's also nice when you throw that ball and it's like, well, I know it's not a pop. So then it's like, okay, well, whatever I'm left with, okay, I can deal with it, but I know it's not a pop.
Yeah, I've executed properly.
And especially going into the 10th frame there, I just knew he had 20. So I'm like, okay, I have the lead in the total if I just, So as long as I just make sure that I get more than 20. So when you throw that first ball and it's good, then especially when it's a strike, then I'm like, okay, now I got 2 balls. Now, I'm not saying that I couldn't not do it, but, but no, the chances are in your favor.
That first ball you threw, I mean, that was the key. And
absolutely,
I mean, it's good to, when you know it, and to come through and execute.
Right, yeah.
So,
well,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck in the next match. So it looks like you're going to be Derek Holm.
Oh, okay.
You ever played him before?
Yes, I think I have, yeah. I think I played him here, and I think I lost. I can't remember, but it was either last year or the year before. I played him not in this tournament, but at the TPC here.
Oh, okay.
I played him, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So what do you expect? Obviously, everyone...
Again... Derek's a great player, and he's not going to miss spares. Not that you wish it on him, but I just know, like anybody else, Derek can get on the middle every now and then, and sometimes can't get off of it. So I just hope that, number one, if I'm playing good, then I don't really care what he's doing.
Right.
And if I'm not playing good, I just hope I take advantage of any openings I get.
Right. Yeah. Excellent. So thank you.
Thank you.
Again, good luck.
Thanks.